What's up, Sportsman? It's Lamont. We back. Another podcast reaction video. And we're going to be doing a little bit of film breakdown. And, I wanted to do this particular film breakdown, which includes LeBron James, because there's this sentiment attached to LeBron James that a lot of casuals and a lot of fans or a lot of people that hate LeBron James, they like to run with the narrative that LeBron James, teams with LeBron James, they don't run plays. It's a LeBron James system. They don't run particular sets or anything especially with a coach like Darvin Ham, a guy that they believe as a young coach, he's allowing LeBron James to come in and run everything, run the offense, and there's nothing being ran. There's no organization of what they do on offense. And I want to do these film breakdowns to kind of dispel the lies, because I've said many times on this podcast, there are a ton of things that happen on the NBA court that most fans miss or don't necessarily recognize because they don't really care to see them. And they're only looking for the dunks, the highlights, the clutch moments, the things that ESPN showcases in the highlights. That's really what most fans, they're not looking on the defensive side of the ball. They're not looking at any defensive sets. They're not looking at offensive breakdowns. They're just really looking at what is the end result of this play. Did my favorite player score? Did LeBron James not score so I can say that he choked? That's generally what most of these fans are looking at. And so this is why we're doing these film studies, because we want to really break down the science of the game. And we're going to start with a very simple play that the Lakers love to run. It's an action that they love to run. And this play doesn't necessarily start with LeBron James. Let me go ahead and pull up the play. All right, we have this set right here. I'm going to go ahead and let it run real quick. And it just showcases LeBron's IQ. And so this set right here is called an empty corner double screen set. A lot of people like to try to say that LeBron cannot play off ball. In this particular set right here, this is actually a set that the Lakers run a lot. LeBron is actually playing off ball. He's actually highly efficient off ball. Let's just go ahead and dispel the narrative. So they're running this set right here. And we're watching how the Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs are defending this set. We see David Roddy cheating off, kind of clogging up the lane, right? Because they know that D'Angelo Russell is going to look to be a threat coming off this, with Anthony Davis potentially as a threat down there in the post. So we're going to go ahead and play it, see how it plays out. Anthony Davis sets the screen. D'Angelo Russell gets to the middle. We see David Roddy helping off. We see LeBron James playing off ball. A lot of people claim he can't play off ball, right? But he's a man that's always thinking as the game is going on. If one play isn't efficient, he's always thinking, how can I make this same set more efficient the next time around? All right, so David Roddy does a good job of helping. He's shading off LeBron because one of LeBron's worst attributes on the basketball court is the catch and shoot three. So because he's not necessarily a threat right there, a lot of people think that you're a liability. And that's one of the biggest myths in basketball. Just because you're not a catch and shoot threat doesn't necessarily mean you can't be a threat if you truly understand the game. So as this play unfolds, David Roddy cheats. He completely clogs the paint, forces D'Lo to kick the ball out. He takes the shot. Luckily, AD's able to get the rebound and the putback. We're going to fast forward through this. LeBron James says to the point guard, because he's playing off ball. He's allowing his point guards to run the offense, but he's telling them, I saw something. Let's run that set again. I saw something. I saw a weakness. I saw somewhere off ball that I can potentially exploit, even though I'm not an elite knockdown three-point shooter. We're going to show you how he broke the defense down in this play. So they're running the same set again. It's the same empty corner double screen set. We see D'Lo this time is now setting the screen for Schroeder, and AD's coming to set the double screen. But this time, as Schroeder comes off, LeBron James, who notices David Roddy once again cheating off into help. But what does he do this time? He's taking that dive cut, or what we call a 4-5 cut. And he's going to expose what the Memphis Grizzlies are trying to do. This is one of the reasons why the Memphis Grizzlies struggled so mightily with the Los Angeles Lakers. So LeBron James dives, Roddy. Because LeBron James is diving and not just standing at the three-point line, Roddy, as he rotates over, has now over pursued and put himself out of position to defend LeBron James. The end result of this play is LeBron James, because of the double corner empty screen set, all of the bigs and all of the guards are lifted out of the paint. This gives him a free run to the basket. He gets a reverse dunk at the rim right there. These are the types of sets that most people don't care to try to break down. They don't care to see. And I tell you guys a lot of times, people try to push narratives because they hope that you don't actually do real research to dispel the lies that they like to push. One of the biggest lies that people like to push about LeBron James is that he cannot play off ball. That is a lie. LeBron James, now that they have D'Lo, they had Schroeder last year, was not the primary ball handler. As we see in those sets and back-to-back plays, they ran the same set. LeBron James is still finding ways to be highly efficient off ball. He's utilizing his high IQ off ball, communicating with his other players, identifying exploits that he sees in the defense. And that's a true indicator of a player's offensive genius or even defensive genius if they're making similar plays that helps their team get stops on the defensive end. We'll break down a ton of these things. We're here to kind of dispel a lot of the lies and the myths. I really encourage you guys to do real research on your own. There's a lot of myths out there that a lot of people like to push in these debates. It's videos like this that dispel the lies. And then when you show these videos, these are the facts that the haters can no longer dispute. Because what a lot of these haters in any conversation with any player, anybody that's usually saying slanderous things or making up narratives about these players that really don't seem or sound true, especially if we're talking about superstar players, what you always find is they never have video documentation to support that particular logic. We here at FYF Sports, man, we bring the logic, we bring the facts. Make sure when you go into a debate, no matter what platform it's on, you need to queue up these videos. Have it ready on hand as your ammunition, man, to combat the lies. Because there's a ton of people out there that like to say things about what happened in these games. They like to say things about the potential box score. They like to make accusations, as we see and as we hear time and time again, like with LeBron James. Oh, he cannot play off ball, and it can't be farther from the truth. But you guys, man, it's FYF Sports, man. It's been another great podcast episode. Great film breakdown. More are these to come. But until then, man, it's FYF Sports, and we out.